I was in a group with him, and it's just terrible to find out that he's gone now.
Now at 11, local ice skaters remember the lives lost in the mid-air crash between a passenger plane and military helicopter near Washington, D.C. Plus, an elk in Arch Cape caught on camera with a rope around its neck. Why authorities say the situation is not life-threatening for now. But first,
we know that they're spending millions and millions, and Oregonians have a right to know that.
The new legislation that may soon force hospitals to publicly disclose what they're paying replacement staff amid the largest hospital strike in Oregon history. KGW News at 11 starts now. And we start with a live look tonight outside the state capitol, where temperatures are going to be dropping over the next couple of mornings. We've also seen some light showers, which means there could be some slick roads tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Catherine Cook in for John Adams. Let's bring in meteorologist Joe Rainieri. And Joe, what could this mean for tomorrow morning's commute?
Well, Catherine, there could be some slick roads out there, so be aware of that, especially as you go over some of the local bridges around the Portland area. Now, we're going to be looking at that weather impact for tonight with another round of cold conditions overnight. I'm forecasting overnight lows dropping down to the upper 20s and low 30s. And again, we saw, a good portion of the day was dry, but just a couple of hours ago, right around 8, 9 o'clock, we saw some slight showers. Well, whatever doesn't dry out between now and, let's say, early tomorrow morning around 2 o'clock in the morning, when we start to see some of the freezing temperatures, there could be some icy spots out there on the road. So as we look at the weather headlines, patchy morning fog, lows in the upper 20s, low 30s. Tomorrow morning will be relatively warm compared to what we'll be running into for Tuesday into Wednesday. We stay very cold over the next few mornings, basically between Tuesday and into Wednesday and Thursday. Cold weather advisory will be taking effect tomorrow night at 7 o'clock and stays in effect until Tuesday right around noon. But we have this ridge of high pressure in place, so we're not going to be seeing any major storms over the next couple of days, but everything changes, though, heading into Thursday and Friday, where I'm expecting to have a weather impact alert for both those days with a chance of some areas of ice as well as some snow. But I want to focus on tonight and into tomorrow. This model is showing that we're going to be seeing temperatures right around 28, 30 degrees up and down the I-5 corridor, even along the Oregon coast. You're going to be seeing some pretty cold conditions as well. But by the afternoon, we'll start to see a little bit more of that sunshine and temperatures still staying below average for this time of year. We should be closer to 50 degrees. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing anything at around 50 degrees anytime soon. I'll talk more about what you can expect to see over the next couple of days and get more details about that weather impact alert for Thursday and Friday.
Thanks, Joe. We'll see you then. Washington County is opening its severe weather shelters tonight over what it calls dangerous conditions. Shelters include the Blanton Street building in Aloha and the Beaverton Community Center on Southwest 5th. Both opened earlier this evening and will stay open for at least 24 hours. No one will be turned away and hot meals will be provided. The county says it will monitor conditions to decide how long to keep the shelters open. Doctors at St. Vincent have a deal with Providence ending a month-long strike, but those physicians say they're not leaving the picket lines yet. As of this weekend, nurses from all 8 hospitals have rejected Providence's latest offer to them, meaning week 5 of their strike starts tomorrow.
Elated, excited, and relieved, I think.
Reaction from St. Vincent physicians after union members voted unanimously to ratify a new contract with Providence Medical Group. It ends their strike, but not their solidarity with nurses.
The real story is that the nurses still do not have a contract.
And so these physicians say they'll continue picketing every day until they do.
We fully support them in getting what they're due and what they deserve, and kind of respect for the profession that they hold and the key role that they play in caring for the community.
Physicians say their biggest contract win is protection against subcontracting, meaning Providence can't fire them to hire cheaper labor.
We've seen them doing that to other groups in the system, and we didn't want that to happen to us. They said that they could never give that to us, and then one day they could. So we were very pleased about that, and we hope they have the same change of heart with the nurses as well.
Amid ongoing negotiations, Providence says they'll explore next steps with each bargaining unit and federal mediators. In the meantime, replacement nurses continue filling in. New legislation may soon force hospitals to publicly disclose what they're paying replacement staff.
We know that they're spending millions and millions, and Oregonians have a right to know that.
That bill will be presented at a public hearing on Monday in the House Committee of Labor and Workplace Standards.
We hope that we're the start of a movement where we're wresting control from kind of money-minded interest in the practice and delivery of medicine. And these bills are a way to kind of help the public know what's out there.
Providence officials tell us they stand by their offers, calling them market competitive, noting they include a 20% wage increase over a 3-year contract. They say ONA's actions have guaranteed a longer strike for its members. New tonight, out of Clark County, officials in Yakult are warning people to beware of spikes showing up on local streets. The town received 3 reports about them last week. The spikes that were found had swastikas drawn on them along with the word Kent, possibly in reference to politician Joe Kent, who lives in Yakult. The spikes were found on East Hubbard, Worthington, and East Jones. If you find one, you're asked to carefully pick it up and turn it in to City Hall. Today, demonstrators gathered downtown outside City Hall for an Abolish ICE protest. Demonstrations like this one have been popping up all over the U.S. in response to actions by the Trump administration, specifically those involving immigration, transgender rights, and the Department of Government Efficiency overseen by Elon Musk. On Friday, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson announced the city is joining a lawsuit against the federal government over the Trump administration's threats to sanctuary cities. Wilson said Portland is not trying to ignore federal law, but rather keep local police focused on local problems.
We object to the federal government's attempt to defund public safety, infrastructure, and critical services in our city. Portland is committed to upholding both state laws and our values. We are prepared to make our case in court and ensure that our city remains a sanctuary for all community members.
Now, this comes after the DOJ sued both the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, alleging their policies prevent federal authorities from enforcing immigration laws.
It's hard. It's just really, it's hard to comprehend and fathom.
It's been over a week since the deadly mid-air crash between an American Airlines flight and an Army Black Hawk helicopter near D.C. Out of the 64 people on board the commercial flight, nearly half were part of the figure skating community. Today, several local skaters remembered them. Celine Stevens was at the Lloyd Center Ice Skate Rink for this special event. A warning, some viewers might find these images disturbing.
I came back home like 5 hours before that happened, and when we found out the news, it was just very devastating.
This is Samuel Mindra. He was in Wichita, Kansas less than 2 weeks ago, competing at the 2025 U.S. Figure Skating Championships. He also coached at the National Development Camp, which many of the family members, coaches, and young skaters on American Airlines Flight 5342 attended, some with dreams of one day competing in the Olympics.
Actually, with one of my competitors, his dad was at the camp as a coach, and so we were doing some group activities together, and he gave out like amazing pointers. I was in a group with him, and it's just terrible to find out that he's gone now.
He also says other skaters who died he also recognized while at the camp, like Spencer Lane.
I see them actually on Instagram a lot, and they actually motivate me, and they're like a younger level, just they have improved so much over a short amount of time. And at the camp, I actually finally got to meet them, which is amazing. And then, it's just over.
Sunday, during the 4th Annual Friendship Games, which was created by the Oregon Skating Council's Vice President Malia Geary, a moment of silence was held in honor of those victims.
It's our way of just remembering those that are gone, their smiles, their, just who they were.
Black ribbons worn to honor victims as well.
It was a really somber day at the rink for us because, again, we had coaches that had just come back. It's a tight-knit small community, especially when you get to the higher levels.
Now, a family support fund has been created by U.S. Figure Skating for people to donate to help U.S. figure skating families that were impacted by the tragedy.
It's definitely important to remember them. You never want to forget the people who grown your sport. We're going to remember them when we jump, when we spin, when we skate.
That was Celine Stevens reporting. Crews have recovered all 67 crash victims. U.S. Figure Skating confirmed 28 of the victims were connected to the sport. An update now on that huge fire at the Blue Heron paper mill in Oregon City. The fire broke out more than a week ago. While it's fully contained, crews were still on scene today, mopping up hot spots. In an update tonight, Clackamas Fire says they have managed to reduce the fire's threat to the public and their own firefighters. Officials tell us the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde has hired a demolition crew to knock down what's left of the mill. No word yet on when that work will begin. Video in from the Oregon coast shows an elk in Arch Cape with a possible rope from a buoy wrapped around its neck and antlers. Multiple police agencies and the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife are keeping watch over the elk, but say there's little they can do right now. Reason being, they say the animal is not in any immediate danger from the debris. Wildlife officials tell us a warden will check in on the elk in the morning. In the meantime, they're asking the public not to call 911 if they see it.